where we are right now in Pennsylvania, we are getting ready to have between 10 and 20 inches of snow, depending, in the next couple of days. It starts tomorrow evening. And so there you go. I mean, we're probably going to be snowed out here maybe till Wednesday, next Wednesday. So we had to stock up on food. I have to get more soda, stocking up on the wine and everything else. And it should be, just 1 minute. It should be fine. Me being from Wisconsin helps at least the survival of me running around. Anyway, so it's been a really great week. Literally last week, we got Kennedy's outgoing, really insane interview. And I have noticed that Pablo Hidalgo is being very belligerent right now. Sorry, nose is running again. So there you go with that. I don't know where the belligerency is coming from. I put out a questionnaire for one of our contacts at Lucasfilm to get back to me on status of certain employees. We'll see. But anyway, we'll find out. And what else is going on? Oh yeah, the Maul trailer is out, and it pretty much convinces me that George's trilogy idea is probably coming. And the reason why I say that is, first off, you look at the trailer and you see Maul, and he's fighting. Oh God, what was that thing? That thing called from Ahsoka? Like he was like a zombie. Oh, I can't remember. He would fight with. He was fighting with Sabine, and she killed him or chopped his head off. I can't remember. I have to go watch it again. He's in it. One of the Inquisitors that Ahsoka actually killed is in it. And Tales of the Jedi. It just looks great. Oh, and the biggest thing, I think what it looks like to me is taking on an apprentice who has Liku like a Twi'lek. What character post Return of the Jedi was a Twi'lek with, I think, yellow Sith eyes and black and red Sith tattoos? Darth Talon. So get ready for that. It's going to be, hopefully maybe we'll hear that they're going to do Star Wars Underworld. Just revive those scripts and do them. They actually could do them probably cheaper animated. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, I think anything's on the table. But here's another reason why I believe that the sequel trilogy is dead. You look at Galaxy's Edge, and I've gotten feedback from my video on Rise of the Resistance. That is going down the same time Uga's Cantina goes down for refurbishing into the original trilogy. Now, we were told that Rey and Kylo Ren would be over by the Rise of the Resistance, right? Wandering around. If it's done indefinitely, that doesn't exactly bode well for that. I don't know. I'm just sitting here going, whatever. So there's that. And then we've got a friend of mine, one of my subscribers here, sent me a message saying that he had been talking to somebody who had actually delivered a piece of the Falcon static display and saw the round sensor dish waiting. So if that goes down for maintenance, and I mean, I don't think that would be a very long replacement. I don't know. But the fact that it's there says a lot. I think Damaro wants all this shit done, wants the park to be wiped clean of Kennedy's bullshit. They're not getting anybody to come to the park. They're not selling merchandise. They're not garnering interest, right? I don't know how many views the Maul trailer has gotten. I'll have to go look later. But I'm thinking after it debuted 1.5 million, pretty sure it at least doubled or tripled that. And that's good. That's a good thing. And I think the reason why is because Kennedy is not there anymore. You're going to see a lot more interest in Star Wars now, unless, Kennedy and her, I mean, she still has people that support her. I mean, you can name them. These are people that wouldn't bend the knee to Favreau and Filoni and everybody. And, we know who they are. I mean, Pablo, and why is he being so belligerent? Why is he suddenly vomiting out political crap, from what I've heard? I know why. He might not be there anymore. I want to find out what's going on here. And the reason why is because, in my opinion, the fans deserve to know. We deserve to have a concern of ours and this holdover from the Kennedy era to be removed. Now, if you remember, a long time ago, I had reported that back in 2012, according to Wikipedia, Pablo had been given a regular job by Kathleen Kennedy. And he had been like a contractor. He built the website and wrote a couple of comic books or something, but he wasn't in a contract like a real employee of Lucasfilm. And she brought him on board, which is, he is one of her babies. And I'm pretty sure she feels bad for him because, we've been mean to him. Doesn't matter what he did. Doesn't. To her, he could do whatever he wanted. The fans meant nothing. I mean, that's what is so wrong with all of this. I really don't understand the attitude when you know perfectly well who pays your paycheck. And you know perfectly well one of the reasons your job exists is to make a profit for Disney. And if you lost $14 billion, I believe that, then, maybe you should go find something else to do. I mean, and really, ever since 2018, I think the fans have been asking for justice. And I really don't think that keeping people that really put themselves out there between 2015 and episode 16 of The Mandalorian, who insists now that when we should know who they are, keeping them around is good, is a good look. Personnel is policy, and what you put in the office as the face of your office is who the people perceive you to be. And if you got an impression that Lucasfilm was a shitty place, you were right. And the reason why that's true is look at the god awful mess that occurred between long before the premiere of The Last Jedi and after, and watching all this crap that went on. And Kennedy's gone, and the world rejoices. But still, it's very not disconcerting, but it seems like a half measure if some of her people don't go with her, and we don't know. Again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Transparency is Disney's best friend, and they haven't been. How many people really wish that they had put out Kathleen Kennedy is taking a leave of absence. We can't tell you when she's going to be back, but she's taking a leave of absence from Lucasfilm, and then start cleaning house. That's where you shut down the black pills. All right. And if, the Molly Damons of the world and the, geek girl divas of the world, shit themselves, who cares? How long and in how many ways do people have to see that liberal women, the awfuls, are literally why we can't have nice things, right? Why Star Wars sucks so bad right now, And look, I can't remember what the channel is called, but this guy did an interview with Dave Filoni, 12 years ago. And Dave talked about how Tolkien affected him, right? You'd never see Pablo Hidalgo do that because, look, J.R.R. Tolkien was an old white man, okay? And Dave talked about Tolkien's idea of the shield maiden. Eowyn, remember? I really think that someone needs to tap into Dave and say, hey, can we do an interview talking about that with you? Because it would be very interesting to me to see what he would say. And I think it would shoot down Nerdrotic, it would shoot down Star Wars Explained, it would shoot down the EU fundamentalists, and it would be something I think that would actually set the record straight and probably save him a lot of criticism. I think he should do an interview with someone, a Star Wars fan, who wants to know what his motivation is, and where he got the want to be part of a sci-fi fantasy series, right? Because that article didn't show a woke guy to me. That interview showed a guy who knows the lore of several different franchises very well. And, you can't tell me that Tolkien didn't affect George Lucas, right? In some ways. Look at The Lord of the Rings. Frodo gets this ring from, Bilbo, who disappears. And Frodo's like, okay, what do I do with it? That the ring is almost, it's not only a MacGuffin, it kind of gives him a calling. And then Gandalf is a herald in this too. And so Frodo goes out with Sam, Merry, and Pippin, and it goes on this adventure where they meet Aragorn, and they meet Arwen, and they end up in Rivendell with, the elves, and they go on because they have to get the ring and put it in the fires of Mordor where it was born to get rid of it. That's a hero's journey, right there. right there. And it's not just Frodo's journey, it's all their journey. So to me, I kind of look at that and go, I get it. I understand why Dave would be affected by that. And look, Jon Favreau's production company is called Gollum Studios, or no, Gollum Productions. And to keep, Kennedy in the dark of what they were doing for The Mandalorian, he called her the Eye of Sauron. He knew who was spying for her. He knew it. So there you go. So when I see Ahsoka and Bo-Katan and other strong women, I like that actually had to struggle. I see the influence of J.R.R. Tolkien and George Lucas. All right, I don't see woke. And it just shows the ignorance and the lack of sophistication a lot of these black pills have, right? You can't really watch a show like, I don't care whether it's The Two Towers or The Empire Strikes Back or any of it without truly being able to watch, to know what's underneath all of it. Back when I was a kid, we did because we were taught. I don't think anybody else since then has been. One of the reasons why Generation X is such a hard generation for everybody else to get along with is because we know bullshit when we see it. We were taught to see it. We can see it from 1,000 yards away. That's bullshit, okay? And the people that really rebelled against the sequel trilogy are Generation Xers, right? Because we were the last generation to be taught how to objectively discern and understand things, because it's what we were taught in school. And, look, I'll give you an exercise. Watch a Bugs Bunny cartoon. What music is playing in the background? Classical music. Classical. Verdi. Beethoven. You have it, all right? And we were exposed to that. And we were exposed to things, because, look, Bugs Bunny dressed up like a girl a lot. No one cared. Because it's a cartoon rabbit, right? So ridiculousness is something we concern, right? And I don't honestly think kids nowadays can. I do not think people who liked the sequels can discern stupidity. And they can't discern the lack of emotion or the lack of story in those three movies. Sure as hell can't discern the lack of story in Solo or Dial of Destiny. It was like they gave James Mangold a 4-act movie, and the first quarter was fine. It was this Indiana Jones movie. You don't like CG, fuck off. You don't like deepfake, fuck off. It was, that's what you paid for. The next 3 quarters were awful. Why? Because you can't sacrifice story for propaganda, right? A black female CIA agent teaming up with neo-Nazis? Really, Kathy? Are you shitting me? And don't sit there and say, well, we had to do it because of quotas. You could have put that character somewhere else where it made sense. All right? Just telling you. Just saying. Then we've got Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who is already a distaste, basically box office poison. Just people see her and go, reason why, because you know what you're getting. You're getting a smug, condescending, obnoxious, bigoted, British awful, right? What does awful mean? Affluent, white, ultra, affluent, white, female, ultra, leftist. Okay, so, I mean, that's what you got. All right, and people, it was a turnoff. You can't sacrifice story for that. It no longer is creative, is no longer a story, is a piece of propaganda. Okay, can't do that. It is something that is impossible then to watch without feeling like you're being lectured to, or feeling like they don't like me very much. But then you got to remember, Kathy Kennedy did say, these movies weren't made for you. They were made for her imaginary audience that never showed up. Okay, that's who they were made for. That's as much as I got out of that one. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this stuff, and if, we get any word on other things going on at Lucasfilm, I will be back. I am sure there will be personnel changes, so you just gotta go. Anyway, I gotta go. We are gonna go to the store and get more backup groceries and stuff. So we'll be seeing you later. And if you're in the snowstorm area, make sure you've got generators. Make sure you've got all the food and beverages you need to ride this thing out. And keep your phones powered up, because you're gonna need them. Anyway, Steph, setting out. See you around the galaxy.